Hi everyone, here we are on our holiday in France, and we've decided to take a little time out to do a bit of an adventure. We've found some water here called Lactis, which we're hoping will be good for us to find a few items for mudlarking. We've also spotted a gorgeous building on the way in that looks derelict, and we're going to check that out. So here we are just outside Soissons. Come and join us on this adventure as we start by going mudlarking. Now I should mention that there's a bridge here, a footbridge that's been here a while, and while I was stood on there doing my intro I did notice that it is in need of repair, so I'm glad they've got the ticker tape up to stop us falling in, but there's even a point at which the metal is totally corroded away, so we'll have to watch our step as we wander along this part, but I'm sure we're going to have a great time.
Now Phil has spotted something blue and is determined to get it. I think it's a plastic jar lid or something. Don't know if you can see it down there, or even possibly a plastic tape measure for a builder. So he's disappeared into the trees.
I can. Do this way.
Yes, keep coming.
Nope. I didn't wear my wellies.
No, Phil isn't wearing wellies. He's wearing sandals and he's now walking through the brambles. So if you hear any loud screams, you know it's Phil. I was right, it's that plastic lid. We'll take that home. Shouldn't really be in the river.
No.
Right, let's pick it up. It's very dirty. It is full of leaves, but I think it's modern.
And that was my discovery, risking my life.
There you go, that is Phil's very ancient and very valuable plastic lid.
So we put it into the bin.
Phil hasn't got his wellies on, as I said.
I've got my
his sandals. So we're going to go and see if we can get in the water.
I think I've got a path that follows alongside.
Alright, so we'll
I'll come alongside, and if you scream, I'll rescue you.
Right, okay. It looks very muddy.
Yes, you may be best to stay to the edge.
Right, pop your wellies on, we're going in. Ooh, I'm still sinking. Nope, I don't think we'll go in there.
We'll go along the edge, along there?
Yes, we'll go across a little bit. See what we can see. It's not looking good because I don't want to go sinking and I can't get back out.
There may be some interesting stuff underneath that foot of mud.
Yes, but I can't get down underneath all that mud. That's the problem. Right, I'm going to get out, up on the path, and we'll walk further down, see if it's any better. Down there is more river. Now, it looks very steep on the sides, so I have to be very careful I don't jump down and then land in 3 foot of mud. But we will go and see if we can get to the edge. So, come on, let's have a look down here because I've spotted a path. Sorry if it's a bit of a bumpy ride. Whoops, fallen already. Right, we can get down there under the bridge. Just so much mud and silt. Right then, let's try Phil's stick and see how deep it goes in. Right, that is at least a foot of mud. So I'm not going in that bit. And what you couldn't see was I was leaning over and Phil, who stood behind me, was holding my jacket in case I slipped. But I didn't. I'm safe. And here's another edge. It's very steep to get in, and then, oh, again, lots and lots of mud. I'm just going to be buried up to my shoulders if I step in there. Probably not wise. I think I can see a beachy type thing over there. Can you see? There's like a tree crossing the river. Let's go and have a look. Well, this has opened up into quite a nice clearing, and there is a tree that has fallen over. Got caught by all the other trees. You can see them saying, "Catch him, he's falling." They got it. But it's been there so long, it is starting to rot. There's Phil. There's the end, starting to rot away. Well, it's starting to rot away all the way up, actually. Lots of trees down in this forest. Or woods. I'm not sure what the difference between a wood and a forest is, if there is one. That tree there, at an angle, is already fallen down and dead, but again has got supported by other trees. So it's still virtually upright. And here we are down on that little beach. Very muddy.
As far as mudlarking goes...
Oh, it's definitely mud, isn't it?
Got the mud. We got the mud. I ought to explain I am not carrying my usual bag. But there's a good reason for that. Because this bag contains our picnic. It's got all nice cutlery and plates in there. And a cool box on the back. And we've got our French baguette with lovely salad and stuff and salty butter. So that's for us to share in a few minutes time. But back to the mud. So the mud, we're having a lark. We're not finding many things.
No, it's just too much silt washed down, I think. So sure, you've got to be careful, even on the edge here. I could lose my wellies, and I don't want to lose my wellies. Oh, it's very sticky. Right, let's have a look and see what it's like here. Oh, straight down in the mud again.
For a moment then, I thought that was man-made. I thought it was a piece of wicker furniture or something. If you have a look, it's actually the vines or the weeds that have grown down off the trees. Just in the side there. Oh. I'm doing well on plastic tops.
Oh, well done.
There we go, a black one now.
That's interesting. Somebody's dug a hole and filled it with all old rotten logs. I wonder if they were trying to build a man trap, or whether it's a fire pit and they're going to have a huge bonfire here one evening. I wouldn't recommend it because these trees, lots of them are dead and ripe for burning, where they go up like a rocket.
Well, we've searched. We have tried our best. We have gone in mud, which is fun. We have seen beautiful scenery, lovely brooks, but nothing worth of note to discover. So we're going to move on now, and hopefully you'll come with us as we find out what else there is to enjoy in this part of France just outside Soissons. Well, here we are. We've moved on from the brooks and the mud in that gorgeous part of this village, crossed over to the other side now of Setmorn, and behind me I've got this amazing tower. This is part of what was a bishop's palace, originally built in the 13th century, and that tower was built in the 14th, so it's been up there about 600 years plus.
Here's an arch without a building or a door. And there is a really pretty tower. I can see a gate on it. Should we go and have a look? I don't think we can go in the gate. Oops, a bit of a bumpy ride. There's somebody in there. Oh, there's lots of people in here. Ooh, I'm putting you through the gate. Hold tight. Wow. There are 3 statues with bits missing, and on the floor are more bits of statue.
I think this, what we're looking at here, was from the original building, and that was in the 13th century. The bishop, one of the bishops of Soissons, built this place in the 13th century, and then it was expanded and added to in the late 14th century. So we're looking at things that are 700 years old, some 600 years old, which is incredible. The buildings have fallen into disrepair at least twice. I believe it was back in the 18th century or maybe early 19th that it was in a bad way, and it was rebuilt at that time. But then of course it then took a hammering during the and has never been restored to what it once was, which is why we're walking around on a beautiful lawn which used to be people's residence at one time. You can see the grandeur just on the bits we're looking at.
Oh, look inside there. Up these steps. Reproduction of the Abbey of Saint Jean de Vine. Now I think Vine is going to be vine, so it's Saint John. So it's St. John of the Vines, and this is his abbey. Pretty impressive, that. Imagine having that as some sort of doll's house. That would be pretty spectacular. Let's have a look at the roof. Oh yes, look at that. Very nice. Nothing was built simply on this building. What do you think that is? Do you think that's a button to light it up? Should we press it? Nothing happened. Right, here's another doorway and we can go in this one. So here we go. Very nice. A lovely old door, lots of carving in this stone. This stone is very soft, so nice and easy to carve. So here we have a recess, and I would imagine that was used for an icon. If I put my hand there, you can see the perspective. It's probably about 18 inches high, and here's a little symbol or something that's been carved away. There's this gorgeous fireplace. And there's a Phil. Wow, Phil fits in the fireplace.
This building is well over 40 metres high. I think it's 47 metres high. But you can actually see the light at the top of the chimney. I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but I can see the light at the top of this chimney. Right, let's go and have a look.
Ooh, we're in the fireplace. Let's have... Oh, it's dark up there.
Come to this far corner.
All right, from this angle we can't see anything, so we'll turn round this way. Oh, you can just about see the light right at the top where the chimney reaches the sky. From outside you can see it's rather a large and grand fireplace. Something seems to have been snapped off up there. Not sure what. And then if we look up, you can see this fabulous ceiling. All vaults, all made of stone. This must have been such a difficult thing to do and taken so long, so many man hours, but definitely worth all the work. Here's another door. Well, we have to go look. Can you hear the echo? I hope it's not too uncomfortable for your ears. There's the back of an old door. I don't know where that goes. I think it just goes to outdoors. And another recess here. A spiral stone staircase. Let's pop up and see what we can see. Oh, there's something in there. I pop you through. Now I'm going to take a wild guess that that is the toilet, where you would just do your business and it would fall through onto the ground below, outside the castle. Not very pleasant, but I suppose they had no alternatives.
I found something really interesting.
Oh, really interesting.
Really interesting. Now, I'll give you an example right here.
Let's come down and have a look.
See, people have carved, like, that's 1938. And somebody's put their initial in. This stone, as you said, is brilliant for carving, but people have put their graffiti here. But I want to show you a really brilliant piece of graffiti from 1835.
Okie dokie, lead the way.
Come with me. See, somebody's done a deep carved graffiti there.
Move my shadow out of the way. Right.
And now modern days, people are going for, you know, we're about 2013. Look at this. Victor Hugo.
Oh, yes.
1835.
Wow.
Now that is something else.
Okay, time to carry on our journey up these stone circular steps. I think it's going to be a long walk up lots of steps.
There are 7 floors if we can get to the top.
We shall find out. Oh, before we do, here's a turn off. Where does this go? And we just end up at a door, which is padlocked.
You wouldn't want to go through that door. You'd fall to the ground.
Right, we won't go through it then. We'll just look at the graffiti and then come on down. Isn't that very neat for graffiti?
Thing is, you can tell by how well worn the floor is by that door. That was used for hundreds of years. It was probably a passageway into a main hall on this level, because the whole building's gone now and this is all that stands.
Onwards and upwards. Somewhere to shoot your arrows from? We won't be needing that today. This is quite nice at the moment because we are the only people here. If anybody else was visiting, then I think it would get very scary on these stairs. Here's the next floor. Access forbidden. Danger. Can you see through there? Not really.
Actually, it is a pathway, but it's the very top of the wall. It hasn't got buildings or anything, it's just, but there is floor out this one.
Right. Oh, look, there's a hole. Oh, that's a long way down. Another arrow hole.
See where there used to be ornaments in the garden, look. Perhaps some of those statues they've now got indoors.
Yes, could have been statues there. While we're on this floor, let's have a look at some more graffiti. Oh, Celine F. Right, something was in the wall here. Slots, so I don't know what those slots are for. There's nothing, oh, some little tiny holes on the other side. So perhaps there was something here, a doorway, just a crazy guess. Do you know what these holes would have been for? If I give you a perspective, there's my hand.
Interestingly, this place was destroyed around 1918 due to the hostilities that were taking place. And here, look, piece of graffiti. And that reads September 1918.
August 1918. A rattly old door, we're not allowed out there either.
It's interesting that a famous painter, Jacques Edmond Lemon, he bought this place in 1877 and completely renovated it, but obviously chose to leave some of the graffiti on because I'm assuming, because it was a private residence at that time, the people who did the graffiti like this, Mr. M. Jerome, was somebody, and they deliberately did this. It wasn't derelict at that time. This was during a time when this was a residence. So it's intriguing. I don't know who these people are, but they must have been pretty well known in their day.
I was going to go back up the steps and I found this. So there's another extension to the round tower. Oh, there's a room here as well. Let's go and have a look. Oh, another fabulous fireplace. Look at that. Can you imagine what that was like when that was full of roaring logs on a cold winter's day?
Your idea how tall it is. I'm 6 foot without my hat on.
And Phil isn't even bending over. Fits in there perfectly. Another vaulted ceiling. Very nice. Possibly a rotunda. That name comes to mind. I'll check it out. Let's have a look out of the window. More parklands. Here's some sort of recess. I don't know what that was for. And if we go over here, some more windows with more of the parklands. In this fireplace, you can see a little recess here. Can we see any daylight? Let's have a look. Oh yes, right up there. That's a long way up. Where have you been? Found another room?
Little tiny room.
Oh yes, that's a cute room.
Little tiles across on the floor.
I wonder if that's relevant.
Don't know.
And more parkland. There seems to be a rodent problem here. Oh, somebody's dropped some money.
No.
No?
Cardboard.
Oh.
Did you notice this? Did you notice the animal in the centre?
Oh yes, right up there on the ceiling is an animal. A lamb and a cross, which is religious, so it could well be that the little room we went in with a cross on the floor is part of this. There's a religious symbol saying this is the floor with the chapel.
And of course it was all built originally by the bishops.
Oh yes, so I suppose religion would have been everywhere.
Bishop's Palace, I suppose they'd have called it, summer residence, whatever. And see how they've narrowed this doorway? Some years ago, possibly during the 1877 painters' revolution, 1877 painters' renovations, like, made it narrower.
Going up for haberdashery, bedding and various sundries.
1813 graffiti back here, look.
Oh, that's very nice.
Very nice.
That
would have been prior to the visit of Victor Hugo by some 20 years, 22 years. His name there. It was obviously something that people like to do in this place.
Oh, we've come to another landing at last. I'm quite out of puff, so let's go and have a look what's on this floor. Oh, now why is there a metal railing? Do you think there's something really scary in there? Oh, should we look or not? What do you think? Come on, let's be brave and look together. Oh, it's nothing. Probably again a toilet.
Now I'm sure that in the UK, windows like this would be sealed. But we're not in the UK. I've just undone the latch and opened this, and you can see just how high up we are. Take a look around there.
Right, let's have a look. Ooh. And over we go. Whoa.
We've got a distance to go, but we're a fair height.
More of the building this way. If we look up now, there are wooden beams and wooden floors. Not quite as glamorous. Still quite impressive, all that oak. And we got more windows. Another one of those small rooms here. Let's go have a look. Oh, with some gargoyles and things. What a handsome chappie. Do you think that's Neptune? And possibly rabbits or dogs. And somebody doing a bit of yoga there. Ah, lions, do you think? Another gargoyle. And another gargoyle. Let's have a look at the ceiling. There's some sort of coat of arms just turning you around. Woo. And if we go back into the main room, we can see another fireplace with another fill. They're everywhere.
And the view of the top of this one is so clear to see. You can see the light straight away, look at that.
Oh yes, let's have a look.
They've done a lovely job of cleaning this chimney.
Right, I hope you're up to this. We're going up more steps. Here's another landing, and we'll go in here, assuming that these rooms are probably the same size as the ones downstairs. And they are. Ah, interestingly, there's no little room leading out of here. Lots of mess on the floor there. Pigeon droppings and a pigeon feather. So if we look up there, can't see anywhere that it's come from. Perhaps they just live in here on top of that beam. There's a chimney up there. So I assume, let's have a look for any evidence that there was a floor, or at least some sort of minstrel's gallery at that height. All the way round, I'm not sure. Either that or somebody very tall was used to make the fire up. Right, out of that landing, and in no time at all, we're up at this layer. Ah, ooh, can you feel the wind? Wow. Let's go out and have a look. This is starting to get very exciting. Oh, if we look down there, ooh, you can see all the way down.
I don't like heights.
Phil's not very good with heights, so...
I don't like heights. Yeah.
Wow, look at that view. And a cockerel. Through we go into this rounded area. Oh, this is absolutely stunning. It's an amazing place to be. You can see we're getting quite near the top of this fat round bit.
Oh. I don't think we're going to be there.
Phil's not very good with this. Let's have a look out of the window and see some houses. And if we walk around here, more windows. I think we may be able to walk right the way round on this layer. Over we go. I'm glad there's metal grids there.
Don't knock down them.
Phil's really not very brave.
Don't knock down them, they make you go ooh.
Can you see how close he's walking to the wall?
I don't like it.
He's really not good with heights. Let's have a look out there. Ah, let's move out to the sun. There you can see the top of the pointy tower.
See how warm this one? People stood here over the years and opening the door and going in. And then stood here stepping back and forth. So stairs.
Ooh. Round we go, and eventually we'll come back to the stairs.
Yeah, that's where we're going.
Here's another landing. It's a bit drafty, sorry about the noise. Oh yes. Look at that. I can see everybody's swimming pool from here.
Got all my hat.
It's a bit windy.
See the level with that now.
Alright, we can't go any further than that. Let's have a look
good.
the other way.
Oh good, let's go.
And we can't go any further than that. Pierre Priolet, 1824. Phil is getting very nervous on the stairs now.
Long way down now. I'm going to the top. I'm not stopping.
Isn't he brave, everyone? Are you impressed?
I've been to the top of the Eiffel Tower.
Yes, it was not a pretty sight, but Phil did get to the top of the Eiffel Tower.
I was crying when I got to the top, that's the truth. Honest truth, I was crying on top of the Eiffel Tower because I was so scared, but I was determined to get there. I won't let Caroline go up on her own.
Right, let's go on to the next landing. Oh, there's a bit of a step here. The ceiling is different here, quite plain and boring really. Another fireplace, lots of recesses. Oh, look at this window seat. I can just imagine on a very cold winter's evening, the log fire burning there, sitting here with a bit of a cushion. Let's sit down and looking out of the window at the view of the parkland, keeping myself warm with the fireplace and reading a really good book. And if I needed inspiration, I could look out of the window over there and see all the scenery in the distance. Up we go again. Oh, Lefebvre, 1844. J. Boulot, that looks like 1324.
No, that's too early.
Must be 1824. Right, we have to go up again. Oh, look at this again. Now, I'm assuming this used to have walls and a roof because there is a fireplace, and you wouldn't have a fireplace on the roof here. We have to have a look up. Oh, it's only a really short one, look at that. There's Phil trying to come out of the door. You can do it, you can do it. Let's have a look how high we are. Look down there. Oh, somebody's garden's very nice. And there's the tower. Up again. Oh, look at that. Baudisson, 1819. Very
Seems
nice.
to have carved is what's
A
that?
key, is it something?
Something like that, isn't it?
Possibly. Well, cross keys. Cross keys I go for.
Yeah.
Gustave, something, in 1823. All these steps are getting very steep now. Lots of pigeon drop-ins. Oh, we're nearly at the top. Come on everyone, you can do this, keep going. One last push and we'll be there. A few more steps to go. And we're at the top. Well done everyone. Phil's struggling a little. He'll catch up.
Right.
Right, let's look up there. Oh yes, look at that. With the windows. When do you think somebody had to be outside on the top of this all those years ago before health and safety to put the final finishing touches to the tower? That must have been a bit scary. I think there was originally one more floor. You can see the holes where joists would have gone across, which would have explained the reason why there are windows up there. Think you're going to make it or not?
Yeah. Isn't it? Maurice, is it? 1878.
Maurice, 1878.
1787. Sorry, I've totally backwards.
Maurice, 1787. Who else? 1788. Somebody in 1876 there. Sophie, Looks a more recent addition. Well done, Sophie, for getting to the tower top. Beirut. Looks quite new too.
No, I admire, I gotta be honest, with a few debates, I admire these guys. How the dickens did they get out there?
Just below the
Surely.
joists. Don't know if you can see it on this camera, but there are lots of names
And they're
around
above,
there.
they're above the stairwell, look, there was no floor out there, could there?
Ooh, let's have a look down. Well, that certainly would induce a bit of vertigo with a lot of people, wouldn't it?
We are over 140 feet in the air. I believe 43 metres is the approximate height, which I calculate in my head as about 140 feet plus. It's a long way up.
As you can tell by the look on Phil's face.
Yeah, and you can tell by how hard I'm gripping that piece of iron there.
Look at those white knuckles.
Yeah.
I think it's time to go down before Phil has a heart attack. Oh, he's brave. He's looking out the window.
Oh, it's gorgeous. No, I appreciate the beauty in there. I just have a negative physical response to heights that is quite overpowering and scary.
Right, let's go down. We'll see you at the bottom.
Well, I hope you've enjoyed our adventure today. The beautiful scenery we went through when we attempted to mudlark, found plenty of mud and had a lark. And this amazing, incredible place. I just cannot believe that we have just climbed 7 stories, 140 feet plus in the air, in such a beautiful space that's been there for over 600 years. And we're free to wander there. Absolutely incredible. If you have enjoyed it, well, give us a thumbs up. Share it with a friend, that would be brilliant. And don't forget, if you ding the bell, you'll always know when we're putting out something new. But till the next time, take care and have fun. Bye.